Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. Well, it's a bit of a sad day today because it's overcast and still fairly warm, but it was cold when I came out this morning. Very nearly put a fleece on, but I'm glad I didn't. But anyway, today we're going to have a bit of a walk around the plot and going to harvest a few things to eat over the next couple of days. So I'll have a look at how other things are progressing. So we'll get on with that now. Well, we've really been enjoying the sweet corn, and we'll take a couple of ears of this. In fact, I think I'll just show you inside. Look at those, isn't that beautiful? So yeah, we'll have a couple of those tonight. Lovely jubbly. So next up, I'm gonna grab one of these Swedes if I can. It was a bit of a tugging match. You're pulling these up. There we go. That's a lovely little Swede. What that'll do is just tidy this up. Should really have a knife for doing this, but there you go. It's like a giant pineapple. There we go, so we'll add that Swede to the truck. Great amounts of leaf for the compost heap there. Now, I've still got a few summer cabbages in, so I'm going to take these out as well, trim these up. This is a red acre. Many of you will know of the golden acre summer cabbage. Well, this is just a red version of it, so it's great for making coleslaw, and it's a nice little sized cabbage, that one. And yeah, there's another one there to come yet. I think I'll leave that green one for now, come back for that another day. Yeah, there we go. Quite happy with that. Just while we're up here at the top here, this is my sprout bed, and these are doing very well this year. I'm very pleased with these so far, and if we look in, we can just see the signs of little sproutings starting. So yeah, very pleased with them. In the bed I've just got the Swede and cabbage out of. I've got the Monge 2 down here, and remember I planted these late because I wanted a late crop, and there we go. We've got flowers on them now, so pods over this next month very easily, and we'll have bucket loads of them off those plants. So yeah, very pleased with those as well. Now this is the sweet corn, just for reference, so you know where we are, and this is the next bed down, and this is one squash plant in here, and this is Uchiki. I think that's how you pronounce it. I call it itchy something or other. But you can see we've got little squashes coming on down in these areas. So we might get a couple of plants. This was planted out very late, so we'll have to see. And incidentally, the main vine was buried underneath, so that from each leaf node you'll get a root growing, and that just helps to anchor the plant, and it allows it to take up more water and nutrients from the ground, so it supercharges the plant. And all I've done is, as you can see here, is I've just put a little cross of canes over the main vine, and if I just brush that across there, you can see where the main vine went underneath that cross. I've just buried it so that each leaf node, later in the season when this plant's done, I'll pull this up slowly and show you the roots that you get as extras from doing this. There we go. Come out of here slightly, just turn round, and I've got my carrot beds here, and these were thinned down a few weeks ago, thinned out, and you can see they're racing away in there. Should be able to start picking those 3 or 4 weeks time. The salad size now, they're about 3 or 4 inches long and 2 pencils thick. But I want them a bit bigger really. They will grow a lot bigger. And I've got 2 cages full of them. And on the end of this carrot bed are my butter beans. Now, these seeds were sent to me by John. Very kindly sent me them twice. Thank you, John. And they're right up the top of the poles up there. He said they grow big, and he wasn't messing around with that. But I've got pods coming on these now, so hopefully we're going to get a harvest from these, even though they were planted very late. So quite delighted with those. So moving down the hill from the carrots, this is the bed that I've most recently planted, and I've got lettuces down this end, a couple of cauliflowers and some cabbage. And you can see now, if you remember when I planted this just, I don't know, a week, 10 days ago, you can see how quickly these are getting away. It's because the soil is still warm. Even though the weather is fairly poor, the soil is still warm. And this is a kale bed here that was planted a couple of weeks before the last one. Purple sprouting in this one. Both need a bit of a weed over, actually, looking at it. Job for this week. Next one down, another one that needs a weed. These are the Carlin peas. These are a northern tradition. I've spoke about these before, but they're a mostly northeast tradition. And you dry these, and there's a recipe that you cook them up with, and you eat them with lashings of vinegar. So most of the northeast people will know them. And Pauline sent me the seeds for these. And you eat these on Carlin Sunday, which I think is about 3 weeks before Easter. Could be wrong on that, but it's roughly that. On the end is a crop of Blauhild beans, French beans. They're purple pods that turn green when you cook. I was looking yesterday, there's plenty of flour on them, but as I've found, nothing yet, no beans, but there's still plenty of time. And then a great mass of leeks down in this bottom bed. And these are multi-sown in modules, and this is just wicked with leeks. And this is what's going to see us through the hungry gap next year. And we'll just wander down the end. I'm not sure that we're going to get anything off it, but here at the bottom we've got some celeriac. So I don't know, we'll see. We might get something off it, we'll see. Now, coming back to this other side, I was talking the other day about lettuces that have bolted. When they start to bolt, you can still get away with eating the leaves. You know, the information is that once a lettuce starts to bolt, the leaves get bitter. It's not strictly true. It's when it has bolted. It's when it's got its seed heads up here that I think it's bitter. But the best way to do that is just to rip a leaf off and taste it, find out for yourselves. I went through these yesterday and there was nothing else I can get off this. So all this is compost. There's some spring onions there and a mess of radish. I want to try and collect seeds from that radish. So that's what that's been left for. Anyway, we'll move up to the next bed. So this is my squash bed. These beds are 16 foot long, 4 foot wide. And I've got 3 squash plants in there. And they've been carefully wound around an area to keep them contained. And what happens is you get a main vine growing out from the plants. And as that main vine grows out, you'll get leaves along its way. And from every leaf junction, you'll get another vine growing out. That's the secondary vine. You can let them grow, the secondaries, but from those secondaries you'll get more vines growing. They're your tertiaries or your third vines, and it's best really to cut them out. And I've been doing that with this, but now it's got to the point where the plant has overtaken me. I did snip a few off 3 days ago, I think, and you can see how vigorous these plants are. They will eat you out of house and home. There's more and more shoots that are just piling out, and these mostly will be tertiaries, but we have got some fruit on. You can see little tiny ones there, but I mean in here there's There is a decent fruit in there with a couple more coming. So yeah, we're going to get a harvest off that, which is fantastic. And even if you have to take these fruit off early, you can stack them in your greenhouse or polytunnel or conservatory and they'll carry on ripening. So anyway, yeah, that's going to carry on for another month in there. Now in the new tunnel, this cover only went on the middle of June. That was 2 months ago, and it was planted up immediately, mostly with spares, odds and sods, just to see what this tunnel would do in its location. And it's astounded me, to be honest. The growth in here has been nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, look at these sweet corn. They're all the way up there, 8.5 foot tall. Phenomenal. But the tomatoes, all these tomatoes here, they're all taller than me. And these are all grown from side shoots from the original Crimson Crush plants in the large tunnel. So, yeah, there's still a lot of work to do on this tunnel. And that will be a sort of a winter project. Sorry, I'm stuttering there because I was looking at something at the same time. So I'm pretty much leaving this just to do what it's going to do. I haven't trained those melons over there. I'm just leaving things to it. I've had plenty of aubergines out of here. I don't know if I've got any more growing. Maybe I should look at them when I haven't got a camera in my hand. But the minute I'm going to pick these beans, these have done really well in here, so I'm going to get a little crop of those out of here and think about over this next week. I'm going to start taking some plants out because I'm letting weeds and everything grow in here now, because very soon all these plants will be out and I'll be digging this ground over. But the tomatoes will probably be the last thing to come out. I'm going to try and leave them in here until the end of August at the very least, maybe even into September. So I'm going to take a few trusses of tomatoes off as well. Not bad. Excuse me. We'll get some other of those little ones now as well. So those big red tomatoes, they're the Crimson Crush, and these ones down here are the Ildi. Now they're fantastic. They taste nice, and you get 60 to 80 of these little fruits on a single truss, which is just phenomenal. So I'm just throwing these in salads whole. Why wouldn't you? Only problem is they take ages to harvest. Well, it's picking. It's like picking individual grapes, isn't it? So I have recounted in another video an issue I've had in this tunnel, and that was with me being down in the mornings down here at the allotments, and I tend to use this polytunnel as a bit of a pathway between the front and the back of the plot, and that's caused some humidity level issues in that this is why I don't think these tomatoes have done very well in here this year. So I've decided that next year I will be growing the tomatoes in the new tunnel at the back and not in here. I'll be using this polytunnel in here in a different way next year. So there we go, I think that will do for us there. See, there's still tons left and we've got a great amount in there, so I'm very pleased with that. Right, there we go. So I've added a couple of cucumbers and a few peppers to that as well. So that's a nice basket to take home for the next couple of days. No lettuce there. That'll probably be tomorrow because we're having a meal tonight as opposed to a salad. But that's it for today. Look after yourselves, everyone. Please stay safe. I'll see you very, very soon.